Today I'm going to talk about my favorite deadlift rehab exercise that I learned from Pablo Escobar himself, the cocaine deadlift. Okay, so in fact, I didn't learn this lift from Pablo Escobar. I learned it from Will Morris. One of the nice things about Will is that he's a DPT in the Army, which means he can be a little more aggressive with his clients than a typical DPT would be in a clinical setting. And so we had one of our clients and coaches, his name is Joel Rasmussen, great guy, fell off a ladder about 1.5 years ago, had a major back injury, had lots of pain radiating down his right leg, and Will was trying to rehab Joel's back. And so he had him perform these lifts. Now, he didn't call them a cocaine deadlift, Joel did. And that's because Joel's back had hurt so bad for so long. The first time he performed these, he said it was like cocaine for his back. His back felt really, really good. It stretched out his back in a way that he hadn't felt before and didn't cause a tremendous amount of inflammation and pain like he had experienced in previous lifting since the injury. So Joel coined the term cocaine deadlift because it made his back feel good. So the setup for a cocaine deadlift looks exactly like a regular deadlift. So it's that 5-step setup, stance, grip, shins and knees, chest up as hard as you can, hold your back in extension and drag the bar up your legs. Now breathe out, breathe in, set your back, slide the bar down slow and pause 3 or 4 inches above the ground, and then fire back up, nice and smooth, good. Breathe out, breathe in, nice and controlled. Up, one more. Good, and on this one you can set it down, just hold hard extension in your low back, nice and tight. Very good. The reason that Will Morris prescribes deadlifts like this is because he noticed that for his clients who had injured lower backs, that they would rush through the bottom portion of the descent on the deadlift, like that was the part that hurt. He could get them to set their back at extension and perform the ascent or concentric portion of the movement, but the bottom of the eccentric portion or the bottom of the descent was the part that they would rush through. And when they rushed through it, they would often round their back, and that caused the problem, right? So this cocaine deadlift that he prescribed, which he originally called a top-down pause deadlift, allowed his clients to move through a nice range of motion, lots of time under tension, but kept them out of the space that really aggravated their back. That's the reason for the cocaine deadlift. So the question is, if you have a back injury, how do you put these in your program to be able to start to rehab that back and make progress and gain strength again? Well, what we're gonna do is you're just gonna pick a weight that's a pretty easy weight in the beginning and perform an absolutely perfect concentric deadlift. Same 5-step setup, same setting your back in extension, pull the deadlift to the top, let your air out, breathe in, hold your air, set your back, and then you're basically just performing a Romanian deadlift for the next 2 or 3 or 4 reps. At the end of the last one, you're gonna hold your back and set it in extension as hard as you can and let it down all the way to the floor under control without ever rounding your low back. And so if you do that, you can start this and you can do things like sets of 3 or sets of 4. Will often uses like 5 sets of 2. He really likes doubles. So what you'll do is you'll work up in weight to a weight that you can do that keeps your pain below 3 on a pain scale of 1 to 10. Stop at that weight and perform 5 sets of 2, and then the next week you'll just go up a little bit in weight. You'll go up 5 or 10 pounds, maybe 15 pounds, depending on how fast the recovery is taking place. And you would replace all deadlifts in your program with this until your back was rehabbed enough to go back to a normal deadlift and perform it without pain. For more videos on how to rehab injuries in the gym, click the playlist right up there.